Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
So let's do the heavyweight rankings for the WBC. Now I like to do the WBC because while I don't always agree with some of their rankings and their positioning, I do think that their rankings are better than all the other ones. For me, there's too many people on the other rankings. I'm like, who on earth are you? But anyway, for the WBC, that's not to say that I agree with their positioning. In fact, there's been some monumental changes for year end for the WBC. And obviously Deontay Wilder, currently the champion, and Tyson Fury will be rematching him on February the 22nd. Number 1, Dillian Whyte, the interim and mandatory challenger. Hopefully he gets his world title shot before the deadline of February 2021. Hopefully things could be resolved for that one. But either way, Dillian Whyte keeps his position as number 1. Number 2, Tyson Fury, as I said, rematch with Wilder February 22nd. And number 3, Oleksandr Usyk. For me, I think that's a bit of a waste of a ranking. Listen, I'm a fan of Usyk, okay, but it's a waste of a ranking because he's not going to fight for the WBC heavyweight title anytime soon. In fact, he's going to be fighting for the WBO, whether that be against Joshua or the vacant belt. So for me, that's a complete waste of a ranking. So anyway, number 4, Oscar Rivas. Now, his last fight, he lost to Dillian Whyte, of course, and yeah, last month he was number 10, but he's done nothing since that Dillian Whyte fight, but he's been propelled to number 4. Makes you wonder what's going on with that one. Number 5, Luis Ortiz. Come on now, that's ridiculous. Why on earth is number 5? He's lost 2 of his last 5 fights. How can you be ranked number 5 when you have lost 2 of your last 5 fights? Granted, it was to the champion, but still. Come on now. Number 6, Oleksandr Povetkin. He's got probably the best resume. Him and Dillian Whyte probably have the best resume in the WBC right now. Then maybe a Tyson Fury, then a Usyk. But I think that Oleksandr Povetkin, his last fight with Michael Hunter, he got a draw. Some may say he was quite lucky to get a draw out of that fight. Most people felt that Michael Hunter won that fight. But either way, Oleksandr Povetkin, number 6. Number 7, Andy Ruiz Jr. Interesting how they've ranked him because ultimately, before he beat Anthony Joshua, he wasn't ranked in the top 15 of the WBC. But of course, he beat Anthony Joshua. Then he lost all of his last fights in a very, very one-sided contest last time out in Saudi Arabia. But the WBC, Musa Suleiman, had already said that they will be ranking Andy Ruiz Jr. accordingly and quite highly. So he's in line for a world title shot if there was ever a voluntary. But we know why. Andy Ruiz Jr., first of all, he's Mexican. Second of all, he's a PBC fighter, so he's always going to get a ranking anyway. But that is what it is. For me, I don't have too much of a problem with number 7 anyway. Number 8, Adam Karnacki. Again, undefeated fighter, Polish-American. He's racking up a very, very impressive resume already. So I would expect big things for him in 2020. And hopefully we may well get to see a Karnacki versus Ruiz. That would be a fantastic fight, in my opinion. Number 9, Joseph Parker, former WBO World Heavyweight Champion. He's been a little inactive, I suppose, but hopefully 2020 he's going to turn all that around. Number 10, the very impressive, young-ish, Filip Kerkovich, outstanding amateur. He's only had, 9 or 10 professional fights now, but already he's got some pretty good names on his resume. He really does, and he's looking the real deal. I wouldn't put it past him to at least handle himself against any of the top guys. Maybe even get a win here or there, but he's looking real good anyway. Number 11, Joe Joyce, again, outstanding amateur. As a professional, again, he's only had like a dozen or so fights, but already his resume of notable wins is pretty impressive. So again, he's being fast-tracked, much like Kerkovich as well. In fact, I wouldn't mind seeing them two fight each other. Number 12, Michael Hunter. Ever since he become a heavyweight, again, he's been showing a real lot of mustard as heavyweight. Again, some pretty notable wins. Yes, he got a draw against Oleksandr Povetkin, but as I said earlier on, a lot of people felt that Michael Hunter beat Povetkin. So either way, big up to Michael Hunter, proving to be the real deal at heavyweight. Number 13, Dereck Chisora. Now, again, Chisora, he's the kind of guy where a lot of people see him as a gatekeeper. He's not a journeyman, but a gatekeeper. So if you want to go up onto the top tier of the heavyweights, you've got to get past someone like a Dereck Chisora, which is not easy. When Dereck Chisora turns up, he's very, very dangerous. But again, he could well be getting a WBO world title shot against Oleksandr Usyk if that belt becomes vacant by all accounts. So Anyway, we'll discuss that one as and when it happens. But right now, number 13. Number 14, the IBF mandatory, Kubrat Pulev. Now, again, he's going to be fighting for the IBF world title next, whether that be against Joshua or the vacant one. So again, that is a complete waste of a ranking by the WBC. No point to that whatsoever, because he's not going to be fighting for a WBC. He's just holding up a position. Number 15, former European heavyweight champion, Alec Kbl. Again, undefeated fighter. I think he's is he Turkish, German? He's definitely got a German nationality, but I think originally from Turkey or something. Anyway, Alec Kbl, a very good fighter. I don't have a problem with him being in the top 15. As I said, my real issues here is Usyk and Pulev, as these guys are going to be fighting for a world title next, and it won't be WBC. Complete waste of a ranking. And number 5, Luis Ortiz. He's lost 2 of his last 5 fights. He needs to drop down minimum to like 10th place, minimum. So anyway, that's what my thoughts on all of this. Of course, you drop me yours. Click thumbs up to this video, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next one.